You know, you get in with a few hotel owners and they'll have, or a management company, they have 80 hotels, but they're all around the country. So then like, hey, go here, right? Because it takes a lot of work to get in with them. And then once they trust you, then they keep you're a good contractor, they start feeding you work. Because, you know, if you aren't a good contractor and they sometimes get these really low prices, okay, you just were like, no. And then they have problems because the crew just blows apart. Now they can't rent their rooms and their costs go up huge, you know. You got 30 rooms going and all of a sudden the crew's gone, or they run into problems, or they're not producing, or they're not doing a nice finesse job. That's what we run into all the time, not a finesse job. And then it's got to be redone. The paint's got to be redone. The baseboard's got to be taken off and put back on. So that's a problem. Or the tubs, redo the tubs and the valves, and a couple of the valves are leaking, or a valve cracks and floods. Like, there's just lots of crews that really don't know what they're doing. You know, somehow we all got very old and we've kind of seen everything. That's why I think we should be blowing those floors down. Right now they're going to be good with the scrapers, but you got to be blowing that little bit of debris. It just gives it, just so you got a nice, clean, smooth fit, because it comes through. You know, plank flooring is cheap flooring. It's, you know, going to last in a hotel 6-7 years. It's going to look nice, and then it's done when the franchise turns over, but you don't want it to be done in 4 years. So we want to blow that, because everything comes through, because people are walking on it. So any little piece of dirt within 2-3 years, or a penny's on the ground, it will show.
What are some typical issues you see with crews?
A lot of times it's the quality, or if you advance them pay, they'll just take off. They can't handle the pressure. It's better just to have nice, good guys deal with them. Sometimes better have a little bit less experience, but you can show them how to do it right. We do like experience too. When you find the right guys, it's really, you know, when you come down to it, it's all about finding the good person, right? You can work with a good person. When you get some of these rotten guys, you can't really work with them. They're going to try to steal materials. They're going to try to womanize the girl at the front desk. Just lots of problems it creates. And you want to make sure you got crews that don't drink. You know, that aren't drinking every night. That's a huge problem. Then they're drinking on the property. And big problem. You know, sometimes with roofing crews, we've had that issue when they've been on a job for a long time. Like, if they're going to let loose, you know, once every 2-3 weekends, that's fine. We tell them keep it off the property. But if they have drinking problems, then they got to go, because it creates drama. Just like if you're dating somebody, you can love them, but if they're drinking all the time, you really can't be in the relationship, because they're not healthy, right? It's not going to be functional, that's for sure. So we're looking for functional relationships at Rooftop. It's infectious, right? You know, it's the one rotten apple can rot the whole barrel.
It's kind of an issue with construction sometimes too, because, you know, some construction people aren't necessarily, they have a lot of drinking problems in general sometimes. You know?
And a lot of times their standards are low. Like, it's better to get it done as right as possible. We got great crews, but they're only as good as our supervision. You got to watch them all the time. Sometimes they just make mistakes, but you just want to get it corrected right away. We expect mistakes. That's why we're stopping in there this morning. I think we should be, let's get our blower up there and just have them, you know, it's a little dusty, but shoot all that debris down. In case there's something, bobby pin. You don't want a bobby pin under a floor, you know?
It'll telegraph through.
Telegraphs through, right, Kev?
Everything.
Telegraph, that's a great word.
Like,
what's the word of the day?
Telegraph.
Telegraph.
Well, it's like my house, the landlord did the floors, and there's a couple spots where they got something underneath.
And you feel it on your feet. So Luke just started. So Luke, I expect you to make no mistakes or you're fired. But at the admin level, yes, there's mistakes too. Everybody's always, you know, laziness kills. So don't be lazy. It's time to get in shape. If you want to not be lazy, get in shape.
For me, if I go check on a crew, if they're doing some work, I got to look at it like, okay, if I got to look at it as if this is my house, right? And be like, would I be okay with what they're doing, how that looks? If I'm not, then it's not okay for a customer either. You know what I mean? Because there's always, like Phil said, cutting corners. like, oh, I'll just get it fixed, but it's got to look right, and it's got to.
As soon as you hear yourself say, "Oh, I just got to get it fixed," you better question yourself in construction. As soon as you've always have to treat it like it's your house, because you'll hear me all the time on my house, like with a lot of my content. You guys, this is my house. I don't think so. But I'm like, you got to have that attitude on other people's house too. Plus, you'll be happier. And you can win jobs not at the lowest price. And maybe we don't want those people that want the job at the lowest price. Because it's nothing but problems and their expectations aren't realistic. You can't get something to perform at a way lower price than the price it is meant to be done correctly and perform at. It's Murphy's Law. It's God's law. I mean, it's just better to live by the grace of God and by the good values of the world. And every time I do that, I do good. And every time I have little voices in my head, something bad happens. So, if I'll get 3 flat tires in a month, I'm like, what did I do? I probably shouldn't have did this. So I'm like, yep, I deserve the 3 flat tires. I'm a loser, baby.